All right, we're down in the storage area, the furnace room in the basement. Upstairs, there's a lot more going on. We've got
there always is.
Baby being fed.
Yeah.
A grandma trying to get a bunch of stuff ready.
For a barbecue.
Yeah.
It's chaos as always.
Yeah. I'm just glad we're down here because it's nice and calm.
It's quiet.
Uh-huh.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking Scheetz.
Talking Scheetz. Thank you, Dan Davidson. The very first thing I want to mention is Renato, our wonderful executive producer, who is running the camera. So you can check this out on YouTube. Baillie says, keep our feet out of it. No feet for free.
No, I had my bare feet up on the chair. I was kind of sitting cross-legged. I said, no. Yeah. There's some weirdos out there. You can't have your feet out. Your feet, as we've talked about, though, people would pay money to not see them.
Yeah, my toenail finally came off. It worked out, the big toenail.
During the Oilers game, right?
Yeah, I caught it on something, and it was just kind of dangling on there. I know maybe this is disgusting to talk about, so maybe we should move on. But at the end of the day, if you're freaky and you do want to see our feet, you can pay.
Yeah, you pay money.
There's definitely a price that they can be bought for.
Oh, yeah. We'll sell anything at this point. It's fine. Yeah. We'll take a foot sponsorship.
Right. Okay.
But,
hey, that's not a bad idea. If there's any, what are they called?
Pedicure?
No,
places?
Podiatrist.
Oh, podiatrist. Okay. Yeah.
For years, I wore
orthotics.
Orthotics, thank you. And I've kind of given up on that for whatever reason. But for many, many years, I remember one time when I was in school, this is when I realized that I needed orthotics. My friend Trevor Stanky, shout out to Trevor, borrowed my shoes in gym, and he said, "What is going on with your shoes?" And he put them on, and they were like instantly his feet went to the sides, and I'm like, I don't know. He says, "Man, there's something wrong with your feet." So Mom took me into the city and got me some orthotics, and that was it.
And now you've given up on wearing them?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I grew out of them. I think
your feet flattened out.
I think something changed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as you get older.
Maybe if you've worn them for so long, it fixed the problem.
Maybe it did.
Or you've just stopped running because you ran so much before too.
Yeah.
Where now you're biking, it doesn't matter as much.
It doesn't really matter anymore. Yeah.
I think I probably could use orthotics. I probably have a bit of that freaky step.
Yeah.
My ankles just roll all the time. I went to see our friend Bree at Optimize. She's a fascial stretch therapist. She's a massage therapist, but also a fascial stretch. And she said, "Oh, those ankles. I can tell you played basketball."
Oh, really?
She said, anyone I know that played basketball for a long time has the loosest ankles. Their ankles are just not stable at all because they're stopping and starting. And as a kid, I guess it forms your ankles. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I can tell your ankles are all messed up."
I think you get that naturally because I didn't play basketball, but I think I've got loose ankles because when I used to run, you'd come off a curb weird. And I remember sometimes I would I'd hit the pavement off the curb or whatever. And all of a sudden I'd see the other side of my shoe. My ankle would twist that much. And I'm just like, I should have a broken ankle right now.
Yeah, mine do that Mine do that just walking.
Okay.
It was even worse when I was pregnant because you didn't want to fall, but they were just loosey-goosey.
And now it's gotten even worse because my granddaughter, your daughter, is got super, what do they call it? Double jointedness.
Yeah. Hypermobility now is what it's called.
Yeah.
Double jointedness is no more.
Okay.
I guess
is it offensive?
Well, I think it's just inaccurate. It's not a double joint. It's just your one joint can move all over the place. But her limbs her arms go straight back, her knees bend backwards. Weird little Elastigirl. But.
Yeah, it's true. Because sometimes Karen will say to me, Leona's foot. I'll be like, what? And she'll be like, it's aimed the other way.
And I'm very weird.
She's not complaining. I don't know.
No, she doesn't feel any pain.
So I think it's just continued to get worse as the generations go. What will happen to her children if she has them?
She's got the loosest ankles. But here we are, persevering.
Yeah, fighting through it. Long weekend just finished. May long weekend. Is that the best long weekend? We asked that question once on a podcast.
We talked about it. Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, I think we were talking about Canadian long when we were celebrating Canada and our favorite things.
Right.
One of the topics was favorite long weekend, and I think you said May long weekend was your favorite.
For sure.
Yeah, I prefer September long weekend, Labor Day.
Because it's your birthday.
Well, I just love the fall and September, and I don't know, but I love May long weekend for the sake of spring, and right now in Edmonton, the flowers and the blooms are beautiful.
Something is happening. I mean, whatever. It's not. I'm not going to get into the whole climate change thing, but there's something going on because the leaves were on the trees like 3 weeks early, and I know that. And then all of the blooms. Like we went to Japan and we saw the cherry blossoms, and I thought, holy! And then we like brought them home with us. I have never seen everything so vibrant and so green and so lush this early. This is not typically, it's like end of May situation. It's just like, it's crazy.
It felt like it happened overnight though too. It was like nothing was on the trees, and then we woke up and everything was green.
Like
we have
switch.
a beautiful flowering tree outside of our home right now.
Yeah.
It is in its prime and it is beautiful. So I like May long weekend for that, because running around the neighborhood smells amazing. The lilacs are out.
But normally this is not May long weekend
that's
situation.
true. You're right. I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah. This is like end of May situation. So it's crazy.
One thing that is regular is the weather is always meh on May long weekend.
Right.
It is like, we had some beautiful weekends leading up to it, but this weekend, cloudy, a little bit rainy, but not enough rain to be impactful.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like gray.
A couple of years ago, we had like the nicest May long weekend ever, but then it was so smoky that you couldn't go outside.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah. We were playing slow pitch.
We were playing slow pitch, and you could barely see the ball to hit it or catch it.
And
was
then
so smoky.
You went to sleep and you felt like you had smoked 17 cigarettes that day.
It was like the old days when I worked at Cook County Saloon. You could still smoke at the bar. It was the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not a...
Yeah. Shout out to the long weekend, May long weekend. I think it's always my favorite. We got married on the May long weekend, so shout out to Care, who's just chillaxing upstairs right now.
With her feet up. No, she never is.
She never is, but at 33 years married, 37 with the wind chill.
You keep saying that, but I don't know.
No, I know. I'm teasing. But... yeah, you get to that point in your marriage after 33 years. I think that even the little things start to just get on, one of your nerves more than the other. Probably the wife. I don't know if it's a menopausal thing. You can't blame it on that. I think it's probably just a Chris thing.
Oh, you're thinking she's getting more annoyed at you as years go on. I don't think that that's an anything other than a you thing. I think that you're getting a little bit more annoying every year. As your daughter, I can say that confidently. And I love you, but...
I'm just saying. Happy anniversary, sweetheart.
Yes.
Yeah. Long weekend.
Yes,
May long weekend, the best.
We're releasing on a Tuesday.
Right.
Which we have never done before. We've been Mondays.
Yeah.
And...
Makes sense, though, because people are... They're not back to their regular life on the Monday, right?
Yes,
so you said just based on numbers.
When we look at the analytics of our episodes so far, they've all done consistently well. But when we have released on a Monday, on Easter Monday, or on the previous long weekends, there's a little bit of a dip in the first day. And so we want to give our listeners the best shot at starting the week when they normally start the week.
Right.
And also, it gives me one more day to work on it.
Makes sense. Okay.
So, happy Tuesday if you're listening to it on the day of the release.
All right. You know who we should get for a sponsor of the show is probably a veterinarian clinic.
Yes.
Because, our dog is now becoming a little more expensive because she's on some...
anti-anxiety medications?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're asking if it's working. They called us, really nice people at the Devon Vet Clinic, and asked if it's working. And I'm like, I don't know. I think she's the same. She seems to be doing okay. And then Karen says, but she goes outside in the middle of the night and she barks. And I'm like, last night I went outside with her because she wouldn't come in. And I was outside with her. She wouldn't come to the house. And all of a sudden this cat just went streaking past me. The point is, she's not barking just at the darkness. There's things out there. There's coyotes, there's cats, there's rabbits. She's a black lab. I don't think that she is by any means high maintenance. I think she's just a dog.
She is, and she is anxious though.
I guess.
Yeah, like when she gets so nervous. When she goes in cars and things like that, she's a nervous dog.
And she does just kind of stare at you all the time. But that was even before the medication.
Sometimes she's a bit creepy, for sure. Like, she's a beautiful girl, but there's not always a ton going on behind those sweet eyes.
Okay, but hey, at least we've never had to take her to the vet because she ate a corn cob.
Oh, well, you blew the lead on that one. But yeah, part of the long weekend includes barbecuing. Many people are barbecuing corn on the cob like we did a few days ago.
Yeah.
We've talked about our now 9-month-old Leona eating and starting to eat and trying a bunch of new foods and how fun it has been to experience her getting to try things. One thing that we gave her last week was corn. So we barbecued up some corn on the cob, cut her a slice of it, and she was just kind of gnawing on the kernels and really, really loving it.
Yeah.
I tend to be like very on it when she's eating. I'm watching, Honey's underneath, cleaning everything up. But when I know it's something that Honey shouldn't eat, I feel like
like you're watching, like when there's an Oiler game on, Renato's not, but you are.
I think I'm pretty
like
attentive.
You're attentive, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
This must have happened during an Oiler game.
It had to have.
There's no way it would have happened otherwise. Nothing would have got by
That's
me.
my
But
thought.
when the Oilers are playing, we're not as attentive. And we had an incident where we didn't actually know that Honey had eaten some corn cob until the next morning when she woke us up. Again, we had a beautiful night. Our daughter, 9-month-old, finally kind of sleeping through the night. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Now the dog starts getting up early to puke. I'm like, what is going on?
Serious reversal of fortune.
Oh yeah. So she starts throwing up and it's not looking good. And then one vomit comes up and I'm like, oh, there is a corn kernels and then a corn cob in there.
Right.
And I didn't think too much of it. I was like, oh, okay, that's not an ideal thing probably for a dog to eat. And then I hit Google with it and I said, dog swallowed corn cob, and that was it. It turns out corn cob is a very, very bad thing.
Oh, it's worse than them drinking a big bowl of acid.
It is.
For some reason.
Yeah, corn cob is very serious because their stomachs, and actually our stomachs too, have no ability to digest.
Yeah, ask me how I know that.
You've seen a corn cob?
No. Corn. Never mind. Move on.
No, I'm talking about the cob.
Well,
because obviously corn kernels don't... Obviously,
you never own a piece of corn. You only rent it.
Yes,
it's like a lease.
I knew where you were going with that.
Okay.
I thought you meant you had eaten some corn cob and seen it come out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, of course you can't digest a corn cob. Like, no kidding.
But most vegetables, every part of it is digestible to an extent.
A corn cob? It's like a piece of wood.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, well, we found that out. So, corn cob, very bad for dogs.
Right.
Can get into their digestive system, get into their intestines, cause a blockage. That is big, big, big problems.
Yeah.
So, sweet Honey Bear is throwing up. And that's not really like her either. She's like pretty rough and tumble. She doesn't have a lot of stuff that like impacts her. So.
Right.
I call you and Mom. I say, okay, this is a weekday. Producer Renato's working.
Yeah.
I'm with the baby. I say, you guys got to come get the baby. I got to take big baby Honey to Lakeside Veterinary Clinic in Sherwood Park. So they got us in right away. Honey got a series of x-rays.
Yeah.
3 x-rays. They gave her some barium, which is like crazy UV light up stuff. She drank it so that they could see kind of where her digestion
First of all,
is going.
you came in and you said corn. And they pressed the magic corn button, and it was like, and there was like, sirens, corn,
it was an
corn,
absolute red alert. It was like, sorry, what did she swallow? Corn cob? And I was, and I felt so bad. And that tech was like, how did it happen? And I said, I'm sorry. I have a 9-month-old. She throws everything. She must have thrown one of the little pieces of corn cob we gave her. Honey must have got it. And I really threw Leona under the bus because I felt so bad.
Right.
But yeah, corn cob, everyone is in action immediately.
Yeah.
So
they jump.
Honey goes in to
It's like a MASH unit.
to get a series of x-rays. And I'm telling you.
A series. That doesn't sound expensive.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't cheap. But if you've ever seen a French bulldog's insides, that is crazy because they showed me the x-ray after the first one and it is like just coiled up. I'm like, how are you seeing anything? And they're like, okay, so the barium we gave her is moving, but we need to do another one in 2 hours and then another one in 2 hours. So all of this is to say is that we did the full x-ray series that day. There was no blockages shown in Honey's intestines, which was very, very good news. And she'd stopped throwing up. She was feeling better, it seemed like. So we took her home. They said, you could bring her back for another one in the morning. I'm like,
because you did pay for the series.
Well, we paid for the series of x-rays, which is like crazy that it's like a vacation package that I purchased. But at that point, once you're in there, you don't care. It's just like, yeah, it is. You're just hoping that everything's okay, and especially with the corn cob red alert.
Yeah.
When everyone is acting like you have given your dog poison, which, yeah. So we get Honey home. She's starting to act very normal, walking, eating, pooping. We're
normal.
like, okay, Honey is good to go. Everything is fine. Corn cob, she must have puked out all of the corn cob she had because we didn't see it in the x-ray. Flash forward 6 days. So this would have been, like last week, and flash forward to 2 days ago. Honey, again, wakes up early, which is not like her. She's usually in bed long after all of us.
Yeah.
I'm like, something's up. Okay, I go outside with her. She starts puking again. Out comes the second half, clearly, because she puked out the first half a week ago. Out comes the second half of the corn cob. So that thing had been sitting in her stomach.
And they missed it.
It was
thankfully because they would have probably had to open her up, right? They would have.
Yeah, if they had seen it in her stomach. But keep in mind again, there was 3 X-rays.
Yeah.
So when I said I couldn't see anything on that X-ray, clearly they couldn't really either. But it came up, and since then again, Honey has been completely fine. We're very, very lucky. But I don't understand what that corn cob went on a journey.
It's corn.
That beautiful thing. The craziest part was that the cob came up looking exactly intact.
Yeah.
Like there was no amount of
and
like.
She's just little. I don't understand like how big this corn cob was.
It wasn't that big because it would. Thank goodness too, because it was a small piece that we had cut for Leona.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is my way too long of story to say. Be mindful of corn cobs this summer around your dogs.
I didn't ask you if we should talk about this, but that's okay. Then there was a very traumatic experience with another patient at the.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not laughing. It's sad.
No, again, it put things in perspective because I'm sitting there with my corn cob patient, and then I was there for hours. So I was making friends with the other pets coming in and the other owners, and this lovely, lovely man had brought in his cat for what seemed like a routine checkup.
He thought so.
And he was telling me about his sweet cat Theodore and their life together, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then suddenly we heard like this like terrible sound, like a growling cat, and he's like, oh, Theodore hates checkups, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like it. And then all of a sudden I overheard as they're bringing the Theodore's owner into the room, and they said, it's not looking good. We recommend euthanizing this cat.
Oh my gosh.
And then so they had to, from what I understand, I got the heck out of there at that point. They were like, honey's good. I'm like, I need to go. I'm tearing up. Yeah, I don't know if Theodore made it out of the vet.
Yeah.
And that poor man, I hope that he's going to therapy because he really loved that cat. And he came in there for a routine checkup. And cats are not like French bulldogs.
That's exactly why I never go to the doctor.
Yeah, you just never want to know.
One day they're going to recommend euthanasia. I can't take that chance.
No,
I just can't take that chance.
So all in all, quite a day. Quite a day at the vet. Be careful with corn cobs.
Yeah.
And I hope, rest in peace, Theodore.
We talked about Verna last week.
Yeah.
The fact that she cleans house to listening to the Talking Scheetz podcast. Going to do a shout out to your Auntie Donna and your Uncle Jerry.
Yes.
Apparently they make rhubarb crisp when they're listening, or they watch. They're faithful listeners. Let us know how you listen, when you listen. Go to social media and you just might get a shout out. But Auntie Donna's rhubarb crisp is second best. There's one better than that, but we won't get into it.
I don't know. Is it your mom's?
No.
Is it our mom's?
It's Auntie Millie's.
Oh, Auntie Millie's rhubarb crisp. That is an inside of jokes. But at least
it is.
Donna Jerry will get it.
But Auntie Millie's, I mean, there's the Connor McDavid, and then there's the Leon Draisaitl.
So they are the Leon Draisaitl of rhubarb crisp. Yeah. And they shared a delicious looking picture where they were listening to the podcast and baking this delicious looking. Yeah. I like that we say they because if someone has a joint Facebook or Instagram account, you never know. Right. So you're referring to both of them at the same time.
I'm assuming it's mostly Auntie Donna.
Yeah. Although Uncle Jerry's great in the kitchen. He's cooking.
And apparently he loves to shop. He loves to grocery shop. Yeah. So I didn't know that.
But I think that baking while listening is great, but you have to always bring us some.
Yeah.
That's the rule. If you're baking something delicious.
But getting back to the grocery shopping thing, is it typical? Like, you say Renato loves to grocery shop?
I think that
compared to you.
Yeah, I think he
He's
likes
the grocery
it.
shopper.
I don't think either of us love it.
No.
But I will say, since having a baby, it's a little bit of a treat. Yeah. If you're the person that gets to go run out and if you get to leave the baby at home. When her and I do the grocery shopping together, it's just a whole extra step. But if we really need something and we're like, oh, we got nothing to eat, we are both very quick to volunteer to be like, oh, we'll go out.
Right.
Safeway is 1 block from our house. Friesen Brothers is 1 block from our house. And it's just a nice little treat if you can go out and leave the baby with dad and go get the grocery shopping. I have a new perspective on it now because it's me time.
I think I would enjoy grocery shopping more if there were no prices. And at the end of it, you didn't know what you paid. You just give them your card and they said, okay, thank you.
It's like a mystery shopping. It does. You really get hung up on the prices. And of course, grocery prices are astronomical and they've been rising, but it really grinds your gears. If I say it and I mean it, it doesn't bother me. For me, we'll find a way to pay our grocery bill. Yeah. We always will. Sponsor the podcast.
I just have no clue how somebody with 3 or 4 children that's just getting by is paying for things right now. That's just it literally keeps me up at night worrying about others, because it's
and
concerning.
You've seen how much a 9-month-old can eat.
Oof, well, yeah, she's not typical, but yeah.
She's always eating something.
But I can't imagine feeding teenagers right now.
Yeah.
Like, it would be the prices would just be astronomical.
For sure.
All right, shout out to Auntie Donna and Jerry Donna. Okay, Londonderry Dodge. Speaking of sponsors, we love Londonderry. I know you're still into your Trail Hawk.
Yeah, we're still going with the silver Trail Hawk now,
because we are looking for just to change the color just slightly to make your neighbors kind of
maybe like a charcoal next time. They definitely, nobody said anything, and we talk to our neighbors quite routinely. Everyone's just like, "You enjoying your ride?" And we're like, "Yep." They're like, "Did it change color?" I will say though, there's a discourse online about if you are a white SUV mom or a black SUV mom. So that's like a new thing on TikTok.
And what's the difference?
It's like your aesthetic. So like a white SUV mom dresses a certain way and a black SUV mom dresses a certain way. I'm feeling quite partial to the silver SUV mom. Now that I have silver, I'm feeling maybe a little bougier. Yeah. I don't know. I like it a lot. Our Jeep Compass Trailhawk, we had a white one, so I got to try being a white SUV mom, and now I'm a silver SUV mom.
Well, I've got the black. I got the black classic Ram. Love that thing. But I'm just thinking about this white or black SUV mom. Mm-hmm. The black would probably be the Aviators.
Yes. Oh, right? Yeah, like a Ray-Ban.
Ray-Ban Aviators.
Yeah. Maybe like a Lululemon dark outfit kind of thing with a black, iced Americano coffee from Starbucks, where I think white might be they're dressed in like maybe a denim overall look, like a cute little overall look. Okay. Maybe some colorful sunglasses. Okay. I don't know. Okay. There's a whole thing online. Am I a dark SUV mom or a white SUV mom? Okay. I'm whatever Londonderry Dodge wants me to be.
You're a gray one right now.
Silver, yeah.
Or silver, and you're good for that. Yes, again, Mitch, Jamie, and the entire staff at Londonderry, they will give you the best deal in the city. Go in and tell them Talking Scheetz sent you.
And they will also return your garage door opener when you notoriously leave it in your vehicles.
Oh my gosh. I always leave at least one thing in the vehicles when I switch them out.
And lately we've been picking it up for you.
It's kind of the way it goes. Yeah. Yeah. It used to be CDs in the old days when you used to leave a CD in the CD player. They don't have CD players anymore. No. It's just kind of the way it goes. Let's talk hockey. I got the Oiler jersey on. You got the Oiler sweatshirt on. Oilers, game number 1 of the Western Conference Final against, go figure, the Dallas Stars. Have we played anybody more than the Dallas Stars? But before we get to that, we have to talk about Mark Scheifele. Mark Scheifele is a hockey player, Canadian kid who plays for the Winnipeg Jets. And before game number 6 of their series against Dallas, Mark Scheifele, in the middle of the night, gets word that his 68-year-old father has died suddenly. And he's with the team, of course, in Dallas. And what do? Right? You just hear your father's passed away. You want to be with your family. You want to be with your hockey family. He made the decision to stay with his hockey family because he said his family, his mom in particular, said, stay and play that game. Your dad would want you to play that game. Your grandpa, my dad, passed away suddenly. Actually, when the Oilers played the Winnipeg Jets in the Outdoor Classic in Winnipeg, it was October 23rd of 2016. And, I got that call that morning, the sudden call. And I'm just imagining then going on with that day like you do from a professional sports perspective. Yeah. And how he managed to pull that off.
Their schedules are so regimented. And again, this isn't just any hockey game. This isn't just like the routine. This is the playoffs. For him to be able to have gone out and even skated in warm-up is incredible. Yeah. And it's also important to say
just
that
been in the zone. Like
he's a very important part of that team.
Yeah.
This isn't a fourth line kind of guy.
He's the longest standing player on the team.
Yeah.
And he's a huge part of whether they win or lose that game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, he ends up playing in that game. He ends up scoring the goal.
The only goal for
the goal for them. And then towards the very end, the last minute of play, he did kind of cough the puck up. And Sam Steele, who is from Sherwood Park originally, and actually I remember watching him play hockey against your son, my son, your brother. Yeah. But Sam Steele had a potential breakaway. He had to take him down. He got a penalty. And then everybody, I think I even saw online, even the Dallas people were saying, even Dallas Stars fans were saying, don't score when he's in the penalty box.
Yeah.
don't score when he's in the penalty box. Score, but don't score when he's in the penalty box. And they scored, and there he was
in overtime.
in the penalty box in OT. And just the line when they went through, and the classic hockey thing, which makes it different than every other sport, is the handshake at the end of a series, was emotional for both the players on each team, and certainly him and his teammates. And it was one of those moments where, oh man, if we just, they could have won that game.
Yeah, I have never been a bigger Winnipeg Jets fan in my life than I was last night, and it had nothing to do with the Oilers. I was like, I don't care who we play here. Yeah. We need the Jets to win this game. And when the game finished and the Stars scored and they immediately panned to Mark Scheifele in the penalty box, that was heartbreaking. Hockey can be such a beautiful sport in so many ways, and I think people rally around players, and the whole league can rally around like something like that. But I was crying. It was very painful to watch.
It was so painful to watch.
But
it was so painful to watch.
Kudos to him.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
The game was not his fault. He scored the only goal that they had.
No. It was stupid that he had to be in the penalty box, and that just had to happen. He was trying to score a goal.
He had to take that penalty.
Yeah. But it just, you're like, oh my gosh, Disney ending, then the opposite of a Disney ending.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I was hopeful that it would be a penalty shot, because then at least it's like, okay, it is what it is. He isn't directly in the box, on that call at the end. But he was very, very strong for being able to play that game at all.
Yeah, no, exactly. Shout out to him, and certainly we are thinking of him and his family at this difficult time. Okay, so we're now playing the Dallas Stars. And again, we play them. It's just like, it's not the playoffs if we're not playing the Dallas Stars. I mean, from the time I can remember, it's just always been the Dallas Stars, and they always had these great hockey teams, and we would play up against them. We'd finish last, like the last team to make the playoffs. They'd be finished first, and we'd have to play Ken Hitchcock and Mike Modano and all of these great hockey players. And who was the goalie? Come on, Chris. I mean, Andy Moog played too, but the classic goalie for them, he also played for the Blackhawks. Gosh, Ed Belfour.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Renato. Ed Belfour.
We need to get that man on the mic.
It's almost his turn. Anyway, but we play them every year, and we had our ups and downs. And I had the opportunity through the radio station to travel down in a motorhome. And have I told the story about when we traveled down to Dallas, and I was traveling with my buddy Slavo Czech and the rest of the Sean Evans?
It's hard for me to remember what has been told on the podcast and what has been told to me in my childhood. It's but you can.
Yeah, this is true lore. So Slavo Czech,
lore,
who's he's truly one of the he's actually a metal artist, and he does unbelievable work in Edmonton and now around the world.
You mean metal singing? Or metal
artist, like a metal, like metal, like railings and
like
sculptures and art.
Okay, because like a heavy metal singing artist. I was like,
Slavo might do that too. Who knows? So he's friends with my boss. So we need another driver of the motorhome to take us all the way down, because it's a long trip.
I can't imagine how
we
long.
end up going through like Winnipeg and then through Kansas City. We go around a long ways around to broadcast and do all this stuff. But we get down there, and I said, so we got talking once we were down in Dallas, and we got talking about life, and he said, he says, I was actually a really competitive downhill skier in the Czech Republic, or I think it was Czechoslovakia when he lived there. Mm. And he said, I probably would have gone to the Olympics if I wouldn't have lost my eye. And I said, pardon? I said, you lost your eye? Yeah. He says, this is a glass eye. I'm like, I had no idea. I said, does it bother you to only have one eye? Does it cause you any issues? And he says, well, only when I'm driving. Sometimes in the night, I've got no depth perception. And he did all the night driving in the motorhome all the way down to Dallas.
So it was a miracle you got there.
Basically.
But also for your boss to be like, we need a driver.
Let's find a guy with one eye. And so we did that. So then on the way home, he did end up ripping the bumper off. At a gas station, but it had nothing to do with his eye, I don't think. I think it was just he took the turn too fast and ripped the bumper off. So then we put the bumper on the motorhome in the back seat with us. And anyway, the memories of going down to Dallas, so much fun there. And at that time, I think it's a little bit different now, but back then it was like there was really no atmosphere at all compared to Edmonton.
Oh, I think I've actually said this before. I've been very, very lucky to go to almost all of the NHL rinks in the last 2 seasons,
Yeah.
3 seasons. Dallas it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that the Stars, because they've had such a good team, and especially now they're kind of
Sure.
on their upswing again. What I really like about it, and I think that what makes it different from Edmonton, is I don't know that all of these people in the building are diehard Dallas Stars fans.
No.
I think that they are Texans looking for a good night out.
That's the way that I would have described it.
Yeah, but I think I also love to see, and I honestly I would push for more of this in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I love to see cowboy hats at a hockey game.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny.
Yeah,
There is like real cowboys in there
Yeah.
with their beer and their cowboy hats.
And 6-shooters.
Yeah, and having a good time. Although I will say, when there was a hat trick in Dallas last round,
Yeah.
I was hopeful to see a cowboy hat on the ice. I didn't see nobody threw their cowboy hat.
They wouldn't throw their
No,
cowboy
because there
hats.
were so
They're
much
too
money.
expensive to throw
But
for a hat trick. Yeah.
I agree with you that
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's no atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just a different type
I
of
think that it is
atmosphere.
people having a good time.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dallas Stars chant. They love the
Yeah.
chants, but
Yeah.
it's not the same live, die, breathe
Yeah.
hockey like it is at
No,
Rogers
no,
Place.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, they showed up late. Back then anyway.
Yeah.
And they do stand a lot.
Yeah.
They stand.
Yeah, well, there's that guy, the glass banger guy.
But they did the
and-
same thing
yeah.
in Carolina too. They stand the whole game, and it's so annoying because you're just
especially
like,
when they're wearing
sit.
cowboy hats.
Exactly. Just sit. Just sit, everybody. But I laughed when they were playing the Jets. At one point during one of the games they were leading, they were chanting USA, USA, USA. And I did the math, and there's like 4 or 5 Americans on the Dallas Stars.
Oh, it is all
and like,
Finns.
Well, Finns, and there was 11 Canadians.
Okay,
and they were
yeah.
chanting USA, USA. I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a stretch. You know, that probably is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But yeah, go Oilers, go.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you have other thoughts on
Oh,
Dallas?
I have definitely childhood. We've talked about Oilers trauma in depth, but the Dallas Stars particularly, just because of all the series as a child, and then now we're living through it again, and it's just crazy. So
Which we won last year. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to be
Oh.
looking for revenge like we were against the Vegas Golden Knights. But the team has really come together. Stuart Skinner,
Our
all the
guy.
detractors and haters. I've said this. I've said and again, I know this isn't technically a sports podcast, but if the detractors of Leon Draisaitl look foolish now. They look foolish.
Yeah.
The ones about Bouchard are about to look foolish again.
yeah,
And thirdly, Stuart Skinner, it's going to be again, you'll be on the wrong side of history with these guys.
Yeah.
It's just cheer your boys on. And Stuart Skinner's gone through so much, apparently death threats and just ridiculous
the
things.
online
Like, grow up.
online world around him. Being a goalie in Edmonton and being a goalie from Edmonton,
Yeah.
that is not an easy thing to do.
No.
And I'm like, Stuart Skinner, get behind me. I will I love him. I love him. And I think that to be a true fan, you can be critical of certain things.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you have to support your guys.
Yeah.
And the guy in the net, the most.
Yeah.
You know?
And the guy that grew up on the south side of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, there's something, again, about Canadians in some respects where we're like convinced if it happened here, it can't be that good.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be that good. Shania Twain's not that good because she's from here. Nickelback, they're from Hanna, Alberta. They're not that good.
West Edmonton Mall isn't that big.
Exactly. Stuart Skinner can't be. And he's had his challenges and he's not always perfect. But ladies and gentlemen, he took us to 2 goals away from winning the Stanley Cup last year. And
it wasn't his fault.
No. And
No.
so, you're not helping the situation.
No,
If you think you are, and then you end up driving these guys out of town and, then they go and be stars somewhere else. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to say. I know I'm the guy that was tapping the wall gently after the...
I think what's interesting about you though is you direct your rage outward. You're never like this player or like this. You're not mad at even the team. It's just like the circumstances around it. It's
I'm
like
not mad at the team.
No, you love them, but it's like
Yeah.
a personal attack
Like
to
when
you.
that goal went in with 0.4 seconds left. Yeah, I wasn't mad at anybody on the ice. I was just mad that it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not. You're right. I'm like the biggest supporter, and even when the team was lousy, I would always find a way to cheer these guys on. But yeah, you're right. It's bigger. It's bigger for me. It's like
I take everything very personal, and if you even watch Stuart Skinner in an interview, he's just such a nice guy.
Well, you got a chance to deal with him.
He's just a great person and a great husband and father and all these different things. He's a human being. And so I think that part also gets like separated from it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that fingers crossed this series it's going to be entertaining for sure. But Stu is he's our guy.
Yeah.
I also think it's very funny when we talk about the Western Conference Final and Oilers in Dallas that we have kicked Katy Perry out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to play in Dallas on Wednesday night when our series starts. And they just, I don't know what they do. Do they move the show before or after? But it's become this whole discourse.
Because I kept saying, okay, they got to. There's no way they're not. She's gonna do her concert. There's no way they're gonna move her.
The woman just came back from space, and now you're gonna kick her out. I don't. Katy Perry has had a rough time online. Honestly, I would say Katy Perry and Stuart Skinner have had an equally difficult time online. But Stuart Skinner wins this one because he's playing on Wednesday night, and she's not. She's not.
There must not be. I don't. It can't be sold out or something.
Know.
There must be something to it.
She was playing in Vegas during round 2 as well, and we had to move around Katy Perry again. I don't know if she's a good luck. Katy Perry, Corey Perry.
I said Corey Perry gets to play, but she doesn't. Yeah, that is. But I mean, I guess I don't even know why. I know why they book these things because there's a chance that they won't be. But I have 2 events coming up within the schedule that are going to take me away from hockey games potentially. But we got to figure out how. I mean, I was a guy that in Japan was like near Mount Fuji, and I literally was watching the Oiler game. So I'm gonna.
You do act like it's a person. The schedule is always personally victimizing you. When you have something every single night, the Oilers are gonna play sometimes when you have other plans.
I literally.
You think it's them.
I should have never committed to anything. I have done that before. I'm like, no, I can't commit because
you're like. Clear my schedule between April and June. Nothing. I am not.
I am not committing to a thing.
I'm not coming to your child's birthday. I'm not hosting your event. Usually you're giving a plug for yourself that you'll MC and speak, but not right now.
No. I will speak as of June 19th. Yeah. Once this is all over. I just, anyway, we'll see.
You can't blame the schedule if you're booked and busy.
Go Oilers, go.
Go Oilers, go.
Is there anything else you need to add?
No. I think we're... Happy Tuesday. We start the series starts tomorrow if you're listening to it on the day. So it's nice to have a little bit of a break.
Oh my gosh. I said that online, and of course people were coming at me and going, "Oh my gosh, when they take breaks, they don't start." I'm like, "You know what? I just speaking for myself. I needed a break."
What's crazy is again, working for the team the previous 3 seasons, I was like, oh my gosh, playoffs are exhausting. Turns out they're also exhausting as just a fan.
Oh yeah.
Scheduling your life around watching the game.
Yeah.
And just the stress that you're feeling every second night.
Yes.
This break has been beautiful. We enjoy the long weekend.
Yes.
And then get right back into it.
Okay. Go Oilers, go.
Go Oilers, go.
Go Stu, go.
Are you think you're going to drive to Dallas this time? Or?
No, I'm staying away from America right now.
For no reason at all.
Oh, I got a reason.
But we're not going to be political.
But who knows about the finals?
Nothing to talk about. There's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking Scheetz.